In this video, we will be discussing the if, else, and else-if constructs. The if, else, and else-if constructs allow you to add logic to your applications. Now, we have been spending a lot of time looking at code using the Foundation template. I think by now you are ready to move on to using the Cocoa application template to create small applications. During the rest of this video series, we will be building out applications using Interface Builder along with Xcode. Interface Builder has an incredible amount of functionality, and I think the best way to learn it is to dive in and start using it. Okay, so go ahead and launch Xcode, and we're going to create a new Xcode project. And instead of clicking Command Line Tool, choose Cocoa Application, and enter. I'm going to name this one Logic. And the first thing I'll do is go over to our classes under Groups and Files. I'll toggle that open and choose Logic App Delegate H. This is our header file. So the application that we're going to create, we're going to have 3 text fields, 2 text fields to enter text into, and we'll have a button. When we click the button, it's going to compare the text from text field 1 with the text in text field 2 and give us the results inside of text field 3. So let's go ahead and set up our outlets for Interface Builder. So we'll type IBO, and we'll get a little code completion help there from Xcode. The term IB outlet allows us to use this element inside of Interface Builder, and you'll see that in just a few minutes when we get these typed out. So the first one we're going to do is NS text field, and we'll call this one text field 1. And I'm going to do the same thing, IBO, NS text field, and we'll do a text field 2. And I'll call the last one text field results. And we're also going to need a button. So to have a button inside of Interface Builder, we're going to need an IB action inside of our code. So this is an instance method. That's why I'm going to type a dash, and I'll type IBA for action. And I'll call this method check strings. And the term IB action is actually the same as using void, except for this will show up in Interface Builder, allowing us to choose it for our interface elements that we're going to have actions associated with. So we start off with a dash, saying that that's an instance method. We put IB action, letting Interface Builder know we're going to be using it there. And then we name it check strings, and you need to have a colon there. Then we put open parens, ID, close parens, and sender. So I'll go ahead and save this. Let's go ahead and open up Interface Builder and lay out our GUI. And the easiest way to do that is to go under Resources in our Groups and Files, double-click on Main Menu Nib File. And when it opens up, I'm going to go ahead and close the menu here. I'm going to resize the window. And just a real quick overview here, our Main Menu Nib window here, this has all of our objects that we'll be using. It has our window, our menu, the font manager, our Logic App Delegate, and this blue cube represents an instance of our class Logic App Delegate. And as you'll see later, this is where we gain access to items inside of our class. Now on the right side over here, we have the inspector, and on the left side, we have the library. If either one of these are not open on your computer, you can go to the tools at the top menu, and you can choose a library to open the library, or inspector to open the inspector, and you can also see those have shortcut keys as well. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is add a couple of text fields, and we do that by choosing the Inputs and Values folder under Views and Cells, under Cocoa, under Library, in the Objects tab. Now you can also go down to the very bottom under the Filter, and if you type in text field there, it'll do the same thing. It'll come up. On the left-hand side at the bottom, you have a way where you can change the way the panel views. We can choose View Icons, and it'll show only the icons in here. We can choose View Icons and Labels. Shows a little bit more information. And you can also choose Descriptions, and that gives the most amount of information, but it also shows the least amount of items at the same time. So the one I always go with is View Icons and Labels. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a text field. And we get the blue guides. That helps us conform with the user interface guidelines. Let's drag that all the way across. And if you need to make several of these in a row, there's a shortcut for this. Hold down the Option key and then click with your mouse and drag. It'll make a copy of it. And I'm also going to need a label. I'll go ahead and drag that up. Drag the label all the way across. And the last thing I'll add is a button. And I'll resize the window. Now double click on the button and I'll rename it to Compare. And this next part, this is what's really cool. We come down to our Logic App Delegate blue cube. So this is our instance of our class. And we right mouse click on that and that pops up this little inspector window. And inside here we can see all of our outlets that we created and we can see the actions that we created too. And this is our button clicks. So the way we hook these up is we go over to the right hand side and we select the little plus symbol in the circle. And this is text field 1, so I'll go ahead and go up to the top. And when I release, you can see it puts the connection between those two. Then I'll choose text field 2. And the last one is text field results. And I use the little label here for that. And the last thing we need to hook up is our check strings method. So this is our IB action, and I'll drag it to the button and release. And there we have it. All of our actions and our outlets are connected from our class file to our UI elements. I just think that's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, and we'll go back to Xcode, and it's time to enter in some code to make all this happen.